know, when it comes to Madam Web and the rest of the Sony Spider-Man universe, you gotta give them credit for the time frame they put these movies in. Madam Web is based in 2003, so they really made it important that this movie felt like a 2003 superhero flick. And I do not mean the Spider-Man movies or the X-Men movies, I mean the Daredevils and the Electras and the Punisher Battle of Shaitan and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean the shittiest of the shittiest of fucking movies they can make. God, this was awful! Hello guys, I watched Madam Web, so you don't have to. Please don't go. Do not support this movie. Yeah, I think we don't justify the creators of a movie enough, like the writers and the people behind it and the prop people and then everyone, every single soul that worked on a movie tried to give you something. When it comes to Madam Web, I still respect everyone who worked on this movie. Apart from the writers. The writers can suck it. The writers, please give every earning, every little cent you earned on this movie, please give it to charity. I'm gonna make a charity for people who have severe mental or physical problems and have severe depression after watching this movie because it's so awful. So please, you do not deserve a single cent you made on this movie, writers. Fuck you. Okay. All jokes aside, yeah, let's talk about Madam Web for a second. Good God. Let's start off with the good. That being said, let's go to the mid things. And the mid things are the actors. The actors in this movie try their best with a horrible script. And not just a horrible script, not just a horrid script, more like a garbage script. I feel like the writers, again for the writers, have they ever talked to a human being ever in their life? Because this is not how conversations work. And the actors, they actively try to do their best with the thing that they had. But it's not like Matt Smith in Morbius, like he knew it was bad, so he at least made it memeable. That's not even in this movie. This is just straight up garbage. It's so bad, even the actors couldn't do anything with it. I do not blame Sydney Sweeney. I do not blame Isabella Merced or Celeste O'Connor or, of course, Dakota Johnson or that Ezekiel Sims guy. I do not blame them. I blame their agents for getting them cast in this role. I feel so bad for them. They do not deserve this. Like, I just don't understand how studios can write a script like this, the scriptwriters, how they write this, and think it's okay to put this into human consumption. I do not understand Amy Pascal. Last year, she gave us Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and this year she thinks like, hey, I have another movie for you. I saw it, I greenlit it, and I saw it, and I said, yeah, this is ready for human consumption, and she gave us this. Enough with this shitting. I'm sorry, I'm just so salty for this movie to be put out. Like, again, the actors, they couldn't do anything with it. It's bad, their acting was bad, but at least they tried to do something with it. I guess, apart from the Ezekiel Sims guy, he didn't really try, in my opinion. He thought like he was, I think he gave up. I think everyone tried to give their best with the shit that they got, but that guy just straight up gave up and didn't even try to deliver something. It was so awful seeing him. I mean, it's not entirely his fault. His character, his bad guy, his Spider-Man, not Spider-Man bad guy, is one of the most bland villains I have ever seen in my entire life. He literally, the only reason he does what he does is because some kids might kill him in the future. That's it. So he kills them first. I mean, it's understandable, but it's really freaking fucking lame. That's it. For the rest, also with his character, now we're on him, I feel like, I don't know what happens, but there's a scene in this movie, and I was laughing my freaking ass off with it. There's this moment in this movie where he is saying something and someone is reacting, but in post they thought like, no, we're not gonna let you say that. But we also don't want to re-record those scenes because that's gonna cost money. So they just ended up with a scene like this. Going to be what? Tell me now, I need to kill these girls. And I'm not even kidding, that made it to the public. That freaking scene made it to the public and no one saw it or just gave a fuck anymore. And then the story. The story was lame. One of the most lame stories you're gonna see with the least interesting characters you're ever gonna have on screen. The trailer was marketed like we're gonna see these three girls becoming spider people themselves. No, that's not what this movie is about. This movie is about saving their asses the entire time with flash forwards with just visions of what's to come from these spider girls in a potential setting up sequel that they did, but we're not gonna do it in this one. Literally, I think I counted it right. In the trailer, you can see the girls more in their spider costume than in the movie itself. And I don't even think I'm kidding. Also, yeah, the seeing into the future and then changing it aspect was kind of nice. It was interesting if the execution of it was not that bad. I mean, half of the time you have no idea it is happening, you just expect it. And it is getting kind of annoying near the middle of the movie when something happens. You think, oh, that's interesting. And they just retract it and do it all over again in a less fun way. I mean, these girls get killed quite some time and it's always fun to see, but if they didn't just reverse it and did it better in the lamest way possible, that's gonna be okay. If you don't want to know any spoilers, maybe skip 30 seconds. I'm gonna make it quick. So there's this scene in a diner where the girls get killed by Ezekiel Sims. It's a very interesting scene. It's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Then it gets reversed, and then we have that same scene, but instead of the killing, and instead of a big ass fight scene, because now they know what's coming, no, they just drive against him, making him fall, and that's it. End scene. Let's go up to the next point. It's a Spider-Man action movie without Spider-Man and without action. That's painful. Alright, in the end, there's just nothing redeemable about this movie. I'm trying to find things that were genuinely good or interesting, but they just weren't there. When I was watching the movie, I thought like, hey, I'm still having more fun with this movie than I had with Morbius, but we got to be honest. Morbius is the better film of the two. Morbius has a better script than this thing. This thing just exists merely to make money and to probably hold the rights to the character because they have to make this, otherwise they would lose the character rights. I think it's going to be the same story as with that Buck Wild movie from a while back. I see no other option as to why a movie like this and a script like this gets greenlit. I mean, it's their job. They get paid to write stuff. I think if you would ask AI from 20 years ago to write a movie script for Madam Web, it would have been better than the actual movie script for Madam Web. And if this movie came out 1 year ago, I definitely would have put this under Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I would call this movie dog shit, but that's going to be disrespectful for both dogs and shit. So I'm just gonna say this movie is unwatchable, unenjoyable, uninspiring, and really, really freaking fucking bad. What did you think of this movie? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching, and goodbye.